Welcome to ZBTR TV.
Goal is to unearth and document the Zambian narrative in the best way possible.
Catch us live every Saturday on Facebook and YouTube.
We broadcast every Saturday at 10 a.m. EST, 7 a.m. PT.
With a growing audience across the globe, we connect Zambians and share resources abroad.
Be part of our journey. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
With a growing audience across the globe, we connect Zambians and share resources abroad.
The ZBTR TV show.
Did you know? Less than 10% of our viewers are subscribed. Don't miss out. Be part of the community. Mark your calendars. Every Saturday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time and 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Flow live.
Welcome to the show. Good morning, good morning, good morning from Dallas, Texas. It is Saturday, April the 11th. I do hope that you are having a great weekend and welcome to the show. Like I said in my comments I posted on the page of this show, ZBTR TV, you can't afford to have that somebody you care about and you love, a friend, a family member, to miss this conversation. Today, we are talking about things that affect us. I mean, oh my goodness, this is a serious one. This is a serious one, and we are going to get into it. Nothing, like they say, no stone will not be turned, okay? It's Saturday. Welcome to the show, ZBTR TV. We are on here talking about the journey of weight loss. That's our subject for today. That's what we're talking about. And joining me are two amazing ladies I have come to know. I've come to appreciate them. They are my special sisters from the great state of Maryland, Pastor Lisulo. She's a certified metabolic coach and also co-pastors with her husband. They founded E3 Church. Amazing mother and a professional woman. Oh, we have a lot to talk about. Pastor Linda, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. It's good to be here. Thank you so much, Pastor Nathan, for having me.
You are welcome. The ice has gone away. Yeah, the ice.
Completely melted.
Completely melted. Okay, some of us don't know those things here. We already moved on. Atlanta, Georgia, amazing lady, hardworking. She's always on the move, this woman. I don't even know how Dr. Katema Banda does this. Vascular neurologist. I hope Mamufrila pronounced that right. Okay.
You got it right.
I got it right. She's a vascular neurologist by qualification and profession, and she's also honorary consul for the state of Georgia. Dr. Anna, thank you for taking the time and for doing this. Welcome to the show and good morning for everybody. I want you to know that she's making a big. She worked night shift and she's here. She's supposed to be sleeping.
Yeah.
But it's only Nathan who makes people stay up and they're supposed to be there. Ladies, welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Everybody watching, please, before we get into the discussion, get your friends up here, share this link and tell them and say, hey, there's something serious going on here. You better come up here, all right? All right, before we get into the discussion, one of the things that ZBTR TV does is we appreciate, give a shout out, recognize fellow diasporans who run businesses, who are doing stuff in the community. And we just want to give a commendation and a shout out. So yesterday, one of the Zambians in the community, Dr. Katema, she runs healthcare. Since I'm talking to ladies and we're talking about health issues, I think this is just in line and it fits in very nicely. Dr. Katema runs a clinic called, where is it? Kena One Healthcare Services, and they've expanded. Yesterday, they had an official ribbon cutting ceremony. They've opened a branch in Virginia. It's called Methadone Clinic. We want to give a shout out to Dr. Ngona and her husband, Elder Ngona. You can see a picture there. She's standing there in the middle with her husband, and Ambassador Kanyama was there to be part of the ceremony. And the mayor of the city where this has been done, she was also there. Dr. Ngona, congratulations to you and your team from ZBTR. Okay, now let's get into this business of weight loss. You can both respond to this question. What are the main causes of persons gaining weight? And I would also like you to factor in, because I understand it differs from women to men, because obviously I'm going to say something very stupid here. Men don't get pregnant. So it's a totally different ball game when it comes to women. So what are the main causes of gaining weight?
Who do you want to start?
Dr. Anna, go ahead.
Sure. Weight loss, weight gain is multifaceted. There's some that overlap between both men and women. And obviously, like you rightfully said, there's some things that are specific to women. So let me start more general with things that affect both men and women. So definitely what you eat, the activity level, the stress level, and your sleeping. Sleep is something that people underestimate. So those things tend to overlap. When it comes to women, obviously women, we have the all good old estrogen. So hormones play a role. It doesn't make it impossible, but it makes it harder to lose weight. And obviously there's pregnancy. And then when you think of pregnancy, it's the hormones again. So the biggest thing with women is that estrogen, progesterone with the women that tends to play a role. And I'm trying to keep it simple and not get too medical, but just trying to.
Yeah, let's just keep as simple as possible so that
and then
can understand.
Exactly. And then there are people who have thyroid issues. So if you're thyroid, you have low thyroid, a lot of those people can have challenging and just gain weight more easily. So those are some of the major ones that I can say. Obviously, there are specific conditions in the hormone category, but I just kind of put it as a blanket statement. Hormones play a major role.
Pastor Linda, you want to add on?
Yeah, I think that's so good. And the first thing when I think about, a question like that is when we are talking about, weight and all, people are actually looking at people. It's like you look at someone, and there's always this misconception to say, oh, they lack discipline, but it's really not. It's not about discipline. It's the biology, like, Dr. Anna has just, shared. But there's also the issue of the environment. Some of us being immigrants, coming to a different country, all of a sudden, you don't look the same way that when you came to Zambia. So those play a factor. Biology, the environment, those play a factor, in it. And it's figuring out what is my body, telling me, what is my body doing. And I thank God for doctors who are able to even, pinpoint that biology part, because if you don't know, you can't help yourself, so yeah.
One thing you have mentioned in your Dr. Anna is the issue of sleep. Can you just say a little bit more on that? When you talked about the men, you mentioned 3 things, right?
That's the overlap.
Overlap.
So that's both men and women. So lack of physical activity, what you put in your mouth, obviously what you eat, the intake, and the sleep, poor sleep. And to that, let me add stress as well. Because again, when you're not sleeping and you're very tired, your body's not resting. So there's some things that happen when you sleep where your body adjusts, but also then you're kind of in a stress environment for your body. And what happens then is your cortisol, a hormone called cortisol, is up, similar to what you have when you're stressed. And that is not a friendly hormone. That's the hormone that keeps you at, I always want to fight. And so because I want to fight, your body wants to hold on to the energy so you can respond to that stress. And so that's the issue there.
There is this aspect of there are people like Pastor Linda, you've alluded to our location. When we came here, of course, the food is different from back home. We grow our own vegetables. The chickens are back in the yard, kuchitele, and but things like that. And we have issues of diet. How critical is your diet in this process? Those ribs.
I think, diet is very much, and I don't really like to use the word diet, just because personally for me, diet triggers something different.
Okay.
Because I tried so many things that failed, that diet feels like, what are you talking about? But really, basically, when you're talking about diet, you're really talking about nutrition. It's really just about nutrition. So it's what we are eating, how we are eating, when we are eating. And those are things that are so important. And, when I think about, nutrition, I think about us as kids. When we were kids, we used to eat. I don't think we ate twice a day or once a day. We ate at least more than 6 times a day, if I remember well. And for me, growing up in an environment where we ate breakfast, we had morning tea, we had lunch, then we had, afternoon tea, then you had dinner, and then you had the midnight snack. So all that was, to me, I'm like, when you have a baby, you don't starve your baby, you feed the baby.
Yes.
But the point is, what are you feeding? So the nutrition there becomes very, very key. It's not about how many times you're eating, but it is, what are you eating? When are you eating? So yes, the fact that we have come from, some of us from Zambia, I don't know how many people, are watching us, from other countries, but coming from, let's say, Zambia, we grow our own food. You take your meal, you are literally eating from the ground. Then you come to America, everything has either got, some food color or, stuff in it. You have to read the ingredients, and you're even shocked at the things that are in there. Some of those words, I can't even pronounce them. I have to Google and find out what is in this food, So nutrition becomes a key, for our health and also for weight loss, so yeah.
What are some of the misconceptions about weight loss that you have personally had to unlearn? Because the two of you have been on a weight loss journey where you took an intentional decision and you went on this intensive, which you are both going to tell us what you've been doing. I mean, those videos of you walking in the malls and and the Dr. Anna always scaring us with her workout schedules. Like, these women are making some of us look like we are so irresponsible. So what are some of the things that, the misconceptions about weight loss that you have personally had to unlearn?
Before I answer that, can I add on to what Pastor Linda said with the food and diet? Coming from a developing country into a developed country, in addition to everything that's in the food, it's the portions. The one thing I have learned in the US is they have big portions. If you remember, I heard you said I could eat this, I could eat that, I could, you ate several times in a day, but you are not putting on a lot of weight. But if one thing, growing up back home, we had big families and our portions were good portions, but there were smaller portions, the right portions. we come here and the portions are huge, and we underestimate how much we put in our mouths. I remember one time somebody who was trying to lose weight, and this is true story, what they said to me. Oh, I'm really working on weight loss and I didn't eat much today. I had chicken, I had a salad. I was like, great. And then they say, just for snacks here and there, I've just been eating a few peanuts, and that's nothing. I don't even count it. I said, no. See, that you are underestimating what you're putting in your mouth. So all those things really add up. The portions are huge, and that's one thing that we really need to pay attention to.
Yeah, you can go ahead and answer the what do you call it? Some things that you have had to unlearn about
weight loss.
Weight loss, yes.
It's not an easy journey, but what I've learned is it's not a linear process. So where you think, because now you've started, I'm just going to be losing weight. There've been months where I have just been like, okay, I'm not doing this again. And my weight goes back up. And then I'm like, okay, we're not going back. And I start again. And so it's an up and down kind of road or path. It's not linear. And so people get discouraged because when you start, you want to see your scale keeps going down, down, but that's not going to happen. Number one. Number two, it's how I determine success. So success to me is not always about the scale. Sometimes success is, oh, look, I fit in this dress that I couldn't fit last week. Because with the workout, sometimes I don't lose the weight, but my inches drop. And so that's still very successful.
There are two things, the weight and the inches, right? I like that part. I like that part. Because you see what you're saying is like, at times I laugh, like, you go into the wardrobe and you're like, oh, I miss this jacket. I had that situation just last week over Easter, and I said to myself, I miss this jacket. So I got it. I put it on and I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, what happened? So it's the weight and it's the inches as well, right?
It's the inches as well, exactly.
Is there a specific way to reduce either, or you just have to? How does it work? Is there a way to lose the inches? Is there a way to lose the weight?
I mean, the weight is going to drop. So the biggest thing that most people say is 80% of your weight loss is what you eat, diet, and 20% is the workouts that you do.
Okay.
And so people will eat and you'll start losing weight. You will lose weight. If you eat less than what you burn, you're going to lose weight. But your body is meant to adapt. And so at some point, the metabolism for your body is going to slow down and it will fight you from dropping that weight, because now your body thinks, oh my God, I am starving. I need to hold on to everything that's coming in. That is just the natural way of your body to respond. And so eat less, it's just going to drop. But you have to work out. And so if you just want to drop fat, walking, so cardio, walking, getting your heart rate up, that's going to help. Just keep dropping the fat and things like that. If you want to start building muscle, which we encourage everyone to build muscle, you have to do strength training. So that is where you see us, we're pushing, trying to do the push-ups.
That's why we see Pastor Anna scaring all of us.
Wait. And I'm trying to do the boxing. Boxing is a little bit of combination with the
what does the boxing do? What does the boxing
do? It lifts your heart rate, so there's a lot of cardio there. But then you're also, with all those moves and the punching that you are doing, you're also doing some strength testing there. And when I did that program, we combined it with actually doing the weights and things like that. So you have to do both. So that building of muscle is what makes you leaner. You build muscle, the fat is going away, but because you're building muscle and muscle is heavier than the fat, so when you stand on the scale, you may look like you've gained maybe a few pounds, but you look smaller. So that is where now you've got more inches lost, not necessarily the scale.
Some of us needs to stay away from that boxing because we end up beating up the foolishness going on in the political arena. I'm telling you. I am sure. Amen, Clotilda. Some of us needs to stay away from the boxing because we end up back clobbering all the political nonsense going on. Same question, Pastor Linda. What are some of the misconceptions about weight loss that you have personally had to unlearn?
I think the biggest one is eat less. And when I say eat less, I'm literally talking about like I don't eat nothing the whole day. Like I don't eat anything the whole day. I haven't eaten anything, and then eat one meal. And I'm telling you, of course, for me that was a misconception because I thought if I fast more, I would lose weight. But the more I fasted, I actually gained.
Because you had to eat more.
Yes, and I didn't realize it.
How do you balance that? Because that was always my approach to say, if I fast more, I lose more weight. And then boom, the capent and the big lump of insulin.
Exactly. But it's what Dr. Anna was just saying. Your body is saying, I'm starving. So when you eat, your body now says, oh, let's keep the fat, because tomorrow she'll be fasting and it stores up. So instead of using it to burn the fat, it's not burning that fat, it's actually storing. So that was something I had to unlearn, especially with the weight loss journey that I was on. I had to start eating, not eating more, but just eating frequently. Just eat frequently, but small. And and that to me, I'm telling you, it was not easy. Okay, it was not easy being, a Christian. Here's the other thing I realized. I was like, was I really fasting because I want a spiritual breakthrough, or was I fasting so that I?
2 for 1.
So that was a big one for me. That was a big misconception,
I tell you, that's a good one. That's my next question, and then I'll show up some of the comments that people are making. Does the approach to my weight loss strategy depend on what the cause is, or it doesn't really matter?
I think it matters, because if you know what your body is saying, then you're gonna treat it that way. All of us, we are at different levels. There are people with all kinds of, now, for me, and I don't mind, saying that I'm over 50. Okay. So when I turned 40, my body just was so different. It was so easy for me to lose weight before that time. But I hit 40, and now it was like, okay, what's going on? I was gaining more weight and I couldn't lose as fast, which means
that fat as well. It doesn't go away very quickly.
Exactly. So the age there comes in. You have to listen and say, I'm not losing weight the same way a 20-year-old can lose weight. We are not at the same level. So you have to listen to your body. You have to hear, what is my body saying? What does it need for me to pivot to get to that place where I can actually. So that's why it's not a one size fits all.
Okay.
Every one of us has a journey that we have to find. Once you figure it out, jump on it and do it.
Yeah, because the next question I was going to ask, I'll throw this to Dr. Anna to say, my weight loss, my strategy for my weight loss, for overeating, for post-baby weight, for you mentioned estro, I don't know those Greek words, estrogen. It can be the same strategy.
So true, in a sense. So there are some things that are going to always be true. And I'm laughing as Pastor Linda is talking, because her strategy that didn't work has been my saving strategy.
There you go.
Yeah. So that's the difference. But so what happens is when so the things that, if somebody is stressed, obviously before you start dieting, well, let's not use dieting. I will borrow that from you, Pastor Linda. We're not going to use the word dieting. Before you go on that health journey, You want to make sure you find a way to reduce that stress. If sleep is a problem, you want to make sure you improve your sleep because it will be, counteractive. You're doing
Yes.
things and then you have other things that are opposing you. So I agree. So you have to do those things, address those things. And when it comes to pregnancy, you have the hormonal issues. So there are some in menopause or people who have premature ovarian insufficiency, people who have polycystic ovarian syndrome. So with polycystic ovarian syndrome, the biggest thing for them is insulin resistance. So those are the people that they will put sometimes on like metformin and, to again balance that part that's making things hard for them. And that can kind of help somebody with thyroid issues. So you have to treat that thyroid problem. But the main concepts are still going to be those underlying fundamentals. It's still going to be what you put in your mouth and how much you move. Those two are going to definitely be there no matter what you do. Because you can give me all the hormone you want, you can give me all the weight loss pills that you want. If I don't change what's going in, it is not going to work. And every weight loss pill, at some point, your body can fatigue and it stops responding as well as it used to. So then you go back again. There are people who've had surgery because you shrink your stomach, right? And so you lose a lot of weight. They very dramatic, very quickly. People lose weight after surgery. But if you don't change the habits, your stomach is a muscle, so it's going to expand again. And that's when you find somebody who had surgery and lost a lot of weight, they gain back the weight. So that can happen. It's really going to be fundamentally what you put in and how much you're moving.
I tell you, that's a serious sermon right there. What you put in and how much you move. Okay.
Yep.
All the pastors watching, there you go.
Yes.
That's a sermon right there. I like what did I know? This is what I wanted to put up here from Molengashi. I have learned that prayer, fasting, and weight loss fasting are different. A doctor told me that you need to know what is the best time for you to fast. You want to comment on that?
Oh,
I'll let Doc. Go ahead. I
just
don't
read prayer
understand
and
her
I'm
question.
excited.
I don't understand her question in terms of you need to know the best time for you to fast. Is she meaning spiritual fasting? This is the time for me to spiritually fast, or this is the time for me to do weight loss fasting? Because they'll differ in how you approach those things. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's give her time to write some more, and then we can probably get her to respond to that. With growing stigma around GLP-1 use, I'm sure you both know what those things mean. I've told you, we just look at these things, and especially for women like me with insulin resistance, as if needing medication reflects a lack of discipline.
Yeah.
How do you respond to that when numbers worse A1C?
So this is the thing, and she's very right. I think it's not fair. So people who take medication, it's not a lack of discipline, and I want people to understand that. So it's silly in a sense, because when somebody has high blood pressure, right? We said treat it with blood pressure medications.
Yes.
And what people need to understand is obesity is a medical condition. It is a chronic medical condition, and that's why people can lose and then they gain it again. So once people understand, and I had to get to this point where I said I have a condition that I need to treat, because I tell my patients, you've got blood pressure, you have diabetes, you have to fix these things, there's medication. And so if there's a medication that helps obesity, why should we shame people who take it? Because you need it. And obesity carries a lot of other risks, including having diabetes in the future. You can get high blood pressure. During COVID, which was really my turning point, where I saw a very young person, like in the 30s, the only risk factor that person had was obesity, nothing else. And the patient died. And it was like a
Wow.
wake-up call for me. And I said, oh, obesity is really a big deal and it's really bad. So this is serious. So nobody should ever shame you for using GLP-1, using any type of medication. If it helps you, the only thing I tell people is you just don't rely on the medication alone. The medication is there to help you. The same thing we say with diabetes, with high blood pressure. As much as you're taking medication, you still have to watch your diet. You still have to exercise. So that is my response to that.
Okay.
Yeah, let me add something also to that. Talking to somebody, here's the thing. Yes, people will always say, people have opinions. And that's one of the things that I stand on. People will always have opinions. People will always say something about your life, but that's your life. Like Dr. Anna has said, obesity is a disease and it has to be treated. And then here's the thing. A lot of people are on so many medications, nobody's talking about it. So why should you have a problem with somebody being on GLP, not you, but somebody, you being shamed? Don't feel ashamed about anything, because if you need it and your doctor has said this is something that you need, go ahead and just have it. Here's the thing. Let's treat this thing so that we do not end up in a place where we are not supposed to be.
Exactly.
Let me just put on my pastor hat here for a little minute.
Preach, lady.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I believe in prayer. I believe that I can pray for somebody and that person can be healed. I believe that, Jesus has healed us. But I also believe that there are a lot of things that we can do to reverse certain
That's right.
And those are the issues. Obesity is a thing that we can reverse. We don't need to pass it on. I have kids. I do not want to pass on obesity to my children and my grandchildren. No. And that is something that we are not just going to deal with in prayer. We have to actually engage in it. So, if your doctor has said get GLP-1, my dear, just go ahead and do it. Don't even talk about it with anybody. Talk about it with the people who love you and care for you. So go for it.
Right.
Okay.
Excellent. Everybody, like Pastor Linda said, one of my spiritual mentors says most of the things Pentecostals pray about, the Muslims just do them. Okay, if you can just take that line. All right, we're at the bottom of the hour. My guests this morning, we're talking about my weight loss journey. My guests are Pastor Linda Lisulo. She's a certified metabolic coach, and her and her husband, co-pastor, E3 Church in the Baltimore area. And my other guest is Dr. Anna Katema Banda, a vascular neurologist. Oh, I said that right.
You did.
She's also honorary consul for the state of Texas, for the state of Georgia. I need to go into some. Okay, let's read some more. This is that I prefer to show the things the people watching are asking rather than me ask my questions. This is about our community. Here is one. I like this one because it's one of my questions. What strategies can someone working night shift full-time employ?
Yeah, that's what I'm experiencing right now.
Like you were supposed to be sleeping, but Nathan has kept you awake.
So that is something that I'm actually now trying to rewire myself, because I'm working more night shifts. And so I have to be very careful and be intentional, number one, about how much I sleep. So you have to make sure when your night shift is over, treat it like this is my bedtime. And so you have to now rewire some things, including when you eat. And I've noticed when I started working more nights, I did notice my scale go up, and I knew exactly what was going on. It was lack of sleep. And now how I even started eating, because sometimes I'm doing the night shift at home where I'm doing telestroke. And if it slows down, I'm like, okay, let me just sleep a little bit. If they call me, I'll wake up. So my sleep is interrupted. But then when I'm working, I'm eating, like I'm eating something because I'm awake. That's my time that I'm awake. But if I now, so I just ate like 30 minutes ago and I'm like, oh, good, it's quiet. Let me just sleep. So now I'm just literally going to sleep like just less than an hour from the time I ate. And so now my body started holding on to that food, and I stand on the scale. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I understand what's going on. So you have to rewire. So now your eating window. So this is where I differ a little bit with with Pastor Linda, because I believe in intermittent fasting. And for me, the intermittent fasting works because it also helps the insulin resistance, so that there's no fluctuations of your insulin up and down. It doesn't work for all, and there are different strategies, but this has helped me because of my busy schedule. I can say I'm not going to eat from this time to this time. This is my eating window. So you have to be disciplined with your eating window, and you have to be disciplined with your sleep. Close the curtains, dark room, make it like nighttime for you. So those are some of the strategies I'm using myself.
Now, they to that question that Zenith has asked, let me ask this one. There's this aspect of not eating beyond a certain time, eating late. Could you speak to that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Pastor Linda, go ahead.
Let me. Shouldn't eat after a certain time.
I have talked too much. Go ahead and
no. This is really good, and you know, I think to that effect, it still goes back to what we have been saying. You have to figure yourself out. Once you figure yourself out and you know what needs to be done or not be done, then you do it. Okay. So it's like almost, you know, you maybe you have an allergy and the doctors can't find out what your allergy is. They'll tell you, oh, you know, remove this, do this, until you figure out what is the food that is triggering this allergy. So when we say, you know, oh, don't eat, you know, certain hours, for some people it has no effect. I've worked with clients who literally 1 hour before they sleep, and guess what? They've still lost on our program. So then I've also had people who, I just cannot eat. Otherwise, I'm not going to be comfortable. I won't be able to sleep. You listen to your body. You have to listen to your body. Listen to the signals and then figure out how it's going to work. So, you know, I really commend Dr. Anna, because she's done this, you know, herself, crafting it. I had to literally jump on a program. Okay. I literally had to be on a program that is structured, that is, you know, it keeps me in line. Not that I lacked discipline, but I just needed help. I needed extra help. I needed a coach to speak to me and keep me in line. And guess what? You know, within 8 months or 9 months, I'd lost 75 pounds. And but here's the thing. That's me. That's what I needed. That's why for me these days, I keep saying, listen, figure out what you need to do. Figure it out. Jump on it. And here's the thing. Don't be afraid to try. Okay? Try out things. So if you want to try this, try it. See how it works. After that, I always say, give it 30 days. Try something, 30 days. Then you will know, okay, I think this is the way it's supposed to be. Because the thing about, you know, weight loss is it's very personal.
Yes.
It's deep. It's very, very personal. You know, I think I shared with somebody to say, you know, nobody can talk about my before picture except me. Only I can talk about it. Nobody has the right to say, oh, you were fat. You know, when you go to Zambia, they are telling you, oh, you have become fat. You know, I don't want nobody talking about that.
Hello, Zambia, Tavashinshikira. They will just say it to your face.
But here's the thing. I need to tell myself, yes, you know, I use the Zambian way. I was fat. But here's the thing. It's not just about that. It's the way I felt.
Yeah.
It's the way I felt when I wake up, the aching. And you start thinking, oh, it's normal, you are growing older. No, it's not normal. It's not normal. We have to reverse some of these things, we have to reverse. And like Dr. Anna, even for me, my wake-up call was 2020. 2020 was my wake-up call. I was just like, what is happening here? What is going on? I need to do something.
You do a small little thing and you run out of breath.
That's true.
I went through that. I went through that. And I know.
Yeah.
And when you finish preaching, you feel like you are going to die.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's get to this personal question. So what were the circumstances that you just said 2020, Pastor Linda? We can come back to that. Dr. Anna, what were the circumstances that led to your weight gain, and what stage did you decide on a strategy?
To be honest, I think it was just lifestyle. I just let life just be life. Got very busy. Went through medical school, and after medical school was very busy. Then I went into residency, a very busy residency program, fellowship, and very poor sleep, eating a lot. I was just eating. I was just trying to get through the training, and the weight was just piling up. And I think it was 2018 or 2019 when I went to Zambia, my brother, we're talking about people in Zambia being honest. My brother said, Mwaiche, we shako. Mwaiche. This is too much. Now we show point blank. And then he shut up. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, did my brother just say this to me?
So, and I think it's even better it comes from your loved one. Rather than a stranger or a friend.
That's true.
You see, I'll tell you what, I should have done this. My young brother is the one who said to me, I posted my graduation picture, and the picture was taken from an angle, this side, And when I looked at that picture myself, Pastor Linda, Dr. Anna, I said to myself, oh my God, what just happened? And my young brother said to me, Dala, you need to do something about this. You need to do so continue. Continue, Dr. Anna. So your brother.
My brother mentioned, and for a long time, like I would try this. I tried a lot of things until I found what worked for me. I went through a lot of different programs. There was some where literally we didn't eat. It was like I would cut 3 pieces of tomato, cut a small little piece of meat. Like literally, you really didn't eat. And then you lose, and then you try to eat again. You just eat a little bit of bread, and then you just gain the weight back. So, but the COVID was really the biggest one. Like I shared, the lady that died, that was where I was like, okay, we're not doing this. So I remember, because I've taken my very first picture when I said we're not doing this anymore, was July. It was July of 2021, and I've kept that picture for myself.
Is that one of those you sent me?
No, that one is very private. That one is very that one shall remain private forever. And,
oh my goodness.
And then my weight got dangerously close to 300 pounds. Wow. And I said, we cannot do this. We can't. I just had to be honest with myself. And now I'm very upset with all my friends that I would be in pictures with, was sitting at an event, and I was like, so why didn't you say anything? I was like, you should have told me that I was looking like this. But so I think just the reality of the risks that come with being obese for me were a wake-up call. And I developed, I think I couldn't find that picture, but at one point I developed darkening skin in the back of my neck. And so that is, and my niece would say, Antiana mle samba kunuma, wash the back of your neck. I'm like, I do. It's just dark because it's insulin resistance. And my doctor would just say to me, would just point and say, you know what this means, right? He wouldn't even counsel me. He'll just say, you know what this means. because now it's almost like you're a doctor, you know better.
You know
And
better.
so I was like, okay, we have to do something. And
All
so
right.
it's been up and down, but never gone back.
All right. Pastor Linda, so when
Yeah.
was that?
I think for me too, it was 2020. And, I do remember the time I'm in my room and I'm sitting, my kids are coming from college because, the whole world was shutting down. And I kind of panicked. I panicked because I was like, wait a minute, all this time it was just, myself, my husband, my son, the three girls were out. Now I have to think about, eating and food. I don't know. I was just in a mode of, I need to do something for them. But then somebody said something to me. And for me, it wasn't a relative, but this person said these words and said, oh, you're so good at dressing. No, she said, you are frumpy. You're very frumpy, but you're very good at your dressing. Okay. So I don't think she thought anything about it, but that word frumpy just it kind of stayed with me. Okay, it was like,
what does frumpy mean?
Wait a minute, is she saying I am like a little elephant? What's like? What is she talking about?
Little elephant.
Yeah. So that it hit here. Yeah, I know how to dress and all, but that's not the point. And then why did she use this word frumpy? So that also just was like, I need to find something. I need to find something. And so when I stumbled on my current health coach, I was in. Like if they had told me, and I've heard it from her, my health coach say this, if they had told me you're going to eat cardboard for 1 month to lose weight, trust me, I would have done it. Like I was so ready. And here's the thing, for me, what gave me belief is because the first month I lost 13 pounds. That was the first time ever that I had ever lost any amount, a good amount, and you can actually see it. So 2020 was a wake-up call for me. And it was not just for me, it was for my kids. And I was thinking of the future, like, what am I doing? What am I giving these people? What am I doing in this house? So that was it. Yeah.
My next question was going to be what exactly Chomba is asking here. Okay, of course she's addressing this to you, your sister. My question was going to be what makes weight loss so challenging, and that's why I said this is about the people watching. So Chomba says, looks like your weight loss journey has become your lifestyle. What has motivated you to maintain and keep going? Both of you. Yeah. Those are, yeah. I know this is Pastor Linda's sister, and like I'm jokingly saying, Dr. Anna here is always scaring us, waking out and all those things. So what has been your motivation, both of you, to keep going? Because it's a challenge, Dr. Anna. I mean, there are times, trust me, when I have done 30 days straight. So wake out in the I'm eating right. Suddenly myself, Pangafat, forget, you're not going to tell me what to eat. I'm talking to myself. Everybody goes through that. I'm just like, you do you think you are?
And that's okay. That's okay. And that's why my approach is I don't say stop anything. I think I am very big on limiting. That's why it goes back to portions.
Yes.
So you can eat what you like, but moderation with everything that you do.
Yeah.
When it comes to even exercising, I say make it fun because it gets boring. So I like to dance. I like music. If my mirror in the bathroom could talk, ngabwafia. And so I have found a way to just make it work for myself because people think exercising is I have to dress up and go to the gym and do this thing. That's not necessarily true. You can do things in your house. Majority of my workout is at home. I will dance. I have my little weights and they're just by my TV room, like I would do. And it doesn't have to be just consistency. You don't have to always have like, I have 2 hours, I have to do this. Some days you will only have time for 15, 15 things that you can, like reps that you can do in the weights and stuff. But just be consistent, just little things. And again, with eating, if you can eat whatever you want, just moderation. If you eat too much, your body, it will tell you. So the next, you just adjust. The minute you restrict, it's human nature. If you tell me don't do something, my mind is like, why? Why
Don't
not?
fish. You can't fish here, then the people fish there.
Yeah, why? Because that's just human nature. So that is the lifestyle. You just have to make it work. And then group, having people with like minds. So one of the things that we did, I don't post my workout videos as much on my regular page, is because now we have a women's only group that we have, our own little The Fit Healthy Women group. And in there, we encourage each other. Every now and then we'll do some weight loss challenges and people can win some money. We gift the person who loses the most weight. We all donate like $50. We put the money together, and the people who lose the most weight, you gift them that money. So we're encouraging each other. And so, so now,
I
again,
wish I could join that group and get that money.
There are people who are spectators in the group, and Pastor Linda is in the group and has been motivating us with her workouts as well. So that's how you keep it going.
You see, Zina says, give us details, we join. $50.
So let me also
give your side of the answer, Pastor Linda, before we ask another question.
I think why it has become a lifestyle for me is because this is how I'm living. This is now my life. And I've not just found a way to be healthy, but I want to share that way. Okay. So this is where now, Dr. Anna has her way. And here's, for me, what I believe is it's very important what you actually put in your mouth. It's not about restriction, never ever restriction. Diet, that's where restriction is. In fact, in the word diet, you find the word die, right? That's one of the reasons why I don't like diet, okay? Because there's die there, and then what? I don't know what. So it is what you are eating.
Yes.
Very key. You can't just, okay, today I'm just going to have, a chunk of chocolate or a chunk of, an excess amount of alcohol and then be okay. And I'm not talking about don't drink or what. I'm just saying there are certain foods that will not serve you. So you have to figure out, does this food serve me? That's where now the limitation comes. That's where the limitation comes. Limitation is not just about portion. There are people who are eating, well, I eat bread. Instead of eating a whole loaf, I'll just eat half of the loaf. No. What is in the bread, and is it serving you? So eat the food in moderation, the food that serves your body. If the food does not serve you, discard it. Okay. So even in the Garden of Eden, the Lord said, don't eat this fruit. What was the first thing that Adam and Eve do? They ate everything that they were told not to eat. So if you can discipline yourself to a place where you say, I won't eat this because it doesn't serve me. So there are certain foods, like for me, I love bread. Okay. I love bread. Okay. Bread is like my weakness. Okay. But here's the thing. I know that I have to eat it in very, very, when I say moderation, I'm talking about moderation. Okay. I will have bread. I will look for the right bread with lots of fiber in it and enough protein in it. So I'm still eating bread, but I'm just eating a specific one. So it has become a lifestyle. But here's the other point. I love community. I'm telling you, If you are not in a group with people that cheer you, then you are missing out. Because for me, in my coaching business, I have a community there. There are people there cheering me on. My clients, all my clients, I've put them in a group. They are being cheered on. And then by God's grace, I found this Fit Healthy for the ladies. Trust me, I have met amazing women, including Dr. Anna here. I have met amazing women in that group. And here's the thing, nobody is judging anyone. All we are saying is, hey, you can do it. Go for it. So, ladies, gentlemen, find a community. Find a community that is going to cheer you on, a community that is not going to pull you down, but a community that is going to keep you up. So
Excellent.
This is my life.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Everybody, let's make this conversation go viral. Like Kalenga is saying, great conversation today. And Zinat says to the comment that your brother made to you, Pastor Anna, Pazedi, this is what I was told. Ule monekanga na mayo weshako.
They don't play.
That's Zambians for you.
They don't play.
Yeah, and this I think this is a very important question from Kwangu for someone who feels stuck. And this will be the second last question. There's one more we need to address. For someone who feels stuck, what should come first? Changing my thinking or my habits?
That's interesting. I think it's both. But you can't change your habits if you haven't changed your thinking. So your mind has to change. For me personally, I had to first acknowledge like the Zambian way, I am fat and this is different. This is not good for me. So I had to think about that, but the habits had to come in. And here's the thing, trust me, I think Dr. Anna, you agree with me, these habits are not easy. That's why the journey it's not
up and
easy.
down. Yeah, it's never linear. It's up and down. Yeah,
that's why you need community.
It is. Yeah, I agree. It's mindset first. Everything starts in the mind. If you win in your mind, you're going to win at everything. So it's going to be mindset number one, and then you start tackling the habits. You cannot break the habits without your mindset shifting. So it really has to be a shift of the mind first, and how you think of food. How you come to that point, like Pastor Linda says, is where you just have to acknowledge and say, I need help. And that's usually the number one thing, similar to an alcoholic. The number one thing, the minute they say, I have a problem, I need help, that is their turning point. You have to get to acceptance.
Excellent. All right. There is a misconception about our body weight with the notion that thin or small is healthy. Big hair and heavy is unhealthy. How do we address this misconception?
That one is so big because that's the thing. People think because you look skinny, then you are healthy. Because you look a certain way, then you're not healthy. But really, it's more internal than it is the outside. That's the reason why you find skinny people still have a stroke. They still have heart issue. They have cholesterol problems. So, it's not about that. At the end of the day, it's just finding what your body is. I have people on my program who were skinny. They are skinny, but they had to go on plan to become healthy, to reduce that cholesterol. Because cholesterol has nothing to do with, fat. I actually have a replica here of, this is a replica of a 5-pound fat. I keep it.
Oh no, we lost him.
Can you see me?
Yes.
I keep it in my office. I keep it in front of me because I don't want to forget. This is 5 pounds. This is 5 pounds. And this 5 pounds can be in somebody who looks skinny. Right now, I still have some of this. And I'm skinnier than I was, 6 years ago. But I still have some of this, which I still need to get rid of. So let's not, look at people and say, you are fat and therefore you are unhealthy. No, it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
So.
Body
it's
shaming,
also-
Dr. Anna, can you address the body shaming thing? Because I think we missed the point that there is the concept or the component of genetics.
Mhm.
Okay. Some of us in our families, we are generally big.
True.
Okay. If you look at my young brother, the one I was telling you about, who said, Dala, you need to do something about, he's a big boy, very big. He's like 6'7" down the line from me. But so talk about the body shaming thing, and the thin is good and the big is bad.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. Nobody should ever do that. True, their genetics. Some people are just big boned. So in our family, we have broad shoulders. We're big boned, and so even when I lose weight, I have to think of that. I'm like, I'm going to look like I'm starving and I'm sick if I lose too much weight because my frame is wide. That's just the way it is with our family. And so you shouldn't shame anyone when it comes to how the body works. And it's highly misconception to say because somebody is big, then they're unhealthy, and somebody is small, and therefore that person is healthy. Again, to the point of genetics, I have seen people come in. Actually, it was somebody thin. I remember one patient thin was out running and had a stroke out running, and very thin, very, very thin. But some people, cholesterol is just genetics. High blood pressure is just genetics. So you have to understand what runs in the family. So you still have to work to fix those things. So how you look just doesn't mean that you're healthy. That is completely inaccurate.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
there's
Thank you for
a
that.
composition of fat. The other thing that, because all fat is not equal, the composition of fat and where it sits. So the fat that sits around the stomach, this visceral fat is extremely dangerous. So this is the fat that, there are people who be skinny. I see them and they drink alcohol and a lot of their fat sits around the belly. And that fat is not healthy because that's the fat that puts you much, much higher risk of all these blood pressure, diabetes, and things like that. So all fat is not equal.
Pastor Linda, can you lift that thing up? Let's scare a few people.
Yeah, me too, man.
This is
5 pounds.
5 pounds. 5 pounds.
That's 5 pounds?
Yes, this is 5
Only
pounds.
5 pounds. Now, can you imagine?
Only 5 pounds. What about 30?
Hey, can you imagine?
Wow.
And it's sitting around the waist here. And that's where, especially for us women, that's where it goes, So,
Here's a point to this issue about thin is whatever. Chomba says, most of my patients with high blood pressure and diabetes have always been skinny.
Yeah, true. So it can just be genetics.
Yeah, it can be genetics and hereditary. We need to understand those things. So, Zambia, let's not make certain comments. Wow, ladies, thank you. Everybody watching, I hope this has helped in a way. I just thought that we should have a serious family conversation, okay? Because some of us are swallowing too many wrong things, and we need to do something about that. But before we go, like I said, we celebrated Dr. Kating honor and setting up a new branch in Virginia of healthcare business. Dr. Anna, I want you to talk about this as we wind up our conversation today.
The threads of legacy. So this is our tea party coming up on the 18th of April here in Atlanta. And really, we're just celebrating Zambian culture here. And so we have some of the most amazing women leaders in the community. Those people who know about kitchen parties, these are women who are at most all the kitchen parties in the diaspora. And so they're coming to share wisdom with the ladies and ladies from different countries of what we value as women on the Zambian culture. So make a date with us, April 25 in Atlanta.
Okay. All right. So if anybody wants to come, what do they need to do? Get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me. They can get in touch with Miss Priska Zulu. They can go to our website, aswe.org. They can also go to Aswe Facebook page, and all the details are there with the flyers on how to purchase the ticket.
Excellent. So let's celebrate Zambia, and everybody watching. Go out there and celebrate with our ladies. And I do thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Let me see. Somebody just posted the final comment here. All right. I think this is, yeah, our president says we are coming.
Fantastic.
I know she's retired, Nasilele, Dr. K. She says we are coming.
Fantastic. We're looking forward to hosting you. I think this will be a very different type of event, and I'm excited to see what it's going to be.
So everybody, all the ladies, please go there. And Zenith, always thank you for your continued support. And everybody that tuned in, this was awesome. Thank you. And everybody, I want to encourage you, share this link. Some people are sleeping, like Dr. Anna was supposed to be, they work night shift. So they couldn't watch the live broadcast, but I encourage you to share this and subscribe to our channel, ZBTR TV. We are both on Facebook and on YouTube. All right. Thank you, Dr. Anna. Thank you, Pastor Linda, for taking the time to do this. And yeah, we shall connect soon very quickly. All right, everybody. That was our show for today, my weight loss journey. And please join me next weekend. I'll be talking to a young lady from Zambia who dropped out of college, and she took to art as a way of earning a living. And I want to engage with diaspora to support this young lady. You're going to enjoy this conversation. All right. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy your weekend, and bye.
Zambia Blog Talk Radio.